Agenda in front of me here. Welcome to our February 13th meeting of the Roseville Joint Union High School District. Normally we would report out what we did in closed session, but we didn't have closed session today. So we're going to jump right into things. I'm going to ask you to all stand up and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. First item is announcement of meeting protocols. We have a large group here, but I know many of you are here for our recognition, which we're going to get to shortly. But for those of you who are here to speak on agenda items, you'll have two opportunities to speak on agendas, or two opportunities to speak tonight. If you have an item on the agenda you'd like to speak on, just fill out one of these forms and put the agenda number on it. We'll make sure that you get called at that time. If you have something that you'd like to share with us that's not on the agenda, fill out the same form and just let us know it's open forum or item 5.7. You'll have an opportunity to address us on item 5.7. If we have less than 10 cards, which is the way we have it now, you'll be given 3 minutes each to make your comments. If on any one item we get 10 or more, that time will be reduced to 90 seconds. The board encourages everyone to participate, but we do request civility in the use of courteous language. The board does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or any other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant and/or district employee. If you have a complaint about a specific employee, there's a way to do that. You can make those complaints to the employee's immediate supervisor or the school site principal, as outlined in our board policies and administrative regulations. As always, our meetings are audio recorded and archived as well. With that, we're going to jump right into our, oh yeah, roll call. We're almost all here. Everyone's here but Tiffany. Sorry about that. I slid right past that because we normally do that in the beginning. But now we're going to get right to our recognition item. So this item is recognition of the 2024 nominees for Placer County Teacher of the Year. And I believe Rob is going to get us started on this. Rob.
Good evening. This evening is a very special night because it's the one time throughout the year that we get to publicly recognize our outstanding Teachers of the Year. But before we go ahead and start that recognition process, I want to take a really quick minute to thank and welcome all of the families, friends, and loved ones that have been here, that have been able to come out and join us tonight. So if we can give them a round of applause for being here. Thank you so much. As a reminder to everybody, this is the beginning of the California State Teacher of the Year process. So what we get to do this evening is move forward 2 of our school site Teachers of the Year forward to the county process. And then if selected, one of our teachers could move on and represent the Roseville Joint Union High School District as a candidate for the California Teacher of the Year process. Each year when I get to interview the 7 teachers that are nominated for the Roseville Teacher of the Year, people often ask me what's so special about each of these teachers. And as you can imagine, the things that come to mind are these are dedicated, passionate, professional, kind, and hardworking individuals who love working with their students. They know that the work that they put into their students today will lead to the success of their students in the future. They understand that while it may take years to see the fruits of their labor, it will not be in vain, and that our communities will be the ones who benefit from their life's work and their day-to-day interactions with our students. What really struck me this year about this group as I was interviewing them was the mindset that each of these folks took. Their approach to working with their students each day was an I get to point of view rather than the I have to. And simply put, this group of teachers loves working with our students each and every day. Finally, and above all else, they understand that there's more to teaching than just arithmetic, reading, writing, They understand the importance of making connections with their students, walking alongside them when our students are grappling with the content, and listening to them when they open up about important aspects of their lives. We're blessed to have 6 of our 7 candidates here this evening, so let's start with our first honoree. Our first honoree tonight is Taylor Kersey, and unfortunately, she is not able to be with us tonight. But if we could give her a round of applause, she has done an incredible job this year. So our first candidate that we'll discuss tonight is Abby Huber, and if you could please welcome her and Principal Isabel Govea.
This is Abby Huber. You wouldn't know it by looking at us, but we actually are like lost souls. We think alike. We're not sisters, though. No, we're not. But we have so much in common. I think I could guess that she probably enjoys taking naps, just like I do, of course. And we love food. Yes. We already knew that. Anyhow, she's amazing. I had the pleasure of hiring her, so that actually is super cool. But I'm happy to be here with her. I have a few words. I feel honored to get to talk about Abby Huber. Not only is she our Oakmont dance teacher, she also serves on our PBIS team to help create a positive environment on campus for both students and staff. When Abby started at Oakmont, there was no lack in transition. There was no gap in her being just part of our campus. It's like she's always been there, which is, that's the kind of person that she is. She fits right into any environment that she joins. I felt like she's always been a Viking in her heart, and we were just waiting for her to arrive. She brought and still brings light, happiness, laughter, and warmth to every class, every meeting, and every interaction she has around campus. Her colleagues respect her, I respect her, and often seek out her guidance, which I do as well. And she actually became our department coordinator very early in her tenure on our campus. So that says a lot about the kind of person that she is, the kind of teacher that she is, and who she represents on our staff. The students adore her, absolutely adore her, and we all feel lucky, and they feel lucky when they get to have her as their dance teacher. She is the model teacher of how inclusion works for our special education students, as she welcomes them with open arms and helps them shine alongside their peers. She continues to make a significant impact on Oakmont daily, and we are so happy that she is an Oakmont Viking. She is thoughtful, mindful, intentional, compassionate, and has a smile that lights up the room. I am so proud to present Abby Huber, our Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
Gotta take a picture.
Very much. Oh, picture.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Let's get them.
Okay. That's good.
Got it. Next, from Roseville Adult School, welcome Jocelyn Mosier and Principal Lisa Voss.
Hello, Lisa Voss, Principal of Roseville Adult School. I am so happy to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Jocelyn Mosher. Jocelyn has been with Roseville Adult School for only 2 years and has been our GED teacher for 1 year now. Jocelyn takes a multifaceted approach to helping her students prepare for and pass their high school equivalency exams. Brene Brown said, "Stories are just data with a soul," and that perfectly describes Jocelyn's approach to teaching and connecting with students. She digs deep into their backgrounds to help them determine their individual needs, uses different diagnostic tools to assist in identifying gaps in their learning and barriers to success. She truly cares about all of her students and forms relationships with them by learning their stories, encouraging them and celebrating their wins. Jocelyn brings in cards to the office for us all to sign for her students who have completed their high school equivalency, announces completers to the class to motivate everyone, and then follows up with them if they're not coming in. They cannot escape from Jocelyn. She believes that each student is capable and has implemented higher expectations by increasing the number of hours students are required to work in order to remain in the program and made progress. She's on track to have 50% more completers this year than last year. Her supports are uniquely designed to build upon students' strengths. She is an empathetic listener. Students who have been in systems where they have never been heard now have a voice with their teacher. Even while dealing with a difficult medical situation with her own child, she has shown up for her students. We are so happy she's taken over this program and are looking forward to see how far she takes it. Okay.
Next from West Park High School, please welcome teacher Liz Danielson and principal Becky House.
Oh, there she is. I was gonna say, I thought we had balloons in our picture. Good evening. Come on up here. You have to stand right up front. We could not be more thrilled that Liz Danielson is our representative. Liz is in her third year at West Park. She started as a paraeducator in our district and is one of the most compassionate, wonderful special education teachers I've ever met in my entire life. So I'll share some things with you. We actually have some new updates too, some exciting updates, so we'll share those as well. Ms. Danielson pours her heart into being a Panther. She fully embraced co-teaching in the math department when she started at West Park as an education specialist. Her passion for students and their learning shows through each day as she teaches. Liz's calm demeanor and skilled approach are assets for students who need extra support. We are very proud of the pass rates in co-taught math classes at West Park, and much of that can be attributed to Liz's support of students and her commitment to co-teaching. She brings unique and effective strategies to the classroom. Her patience is unmatched, and students love her because of that. Ms. Danielson also helped launch and was an assistant coach for our flag football inaugural year, and the update is she was just hired last week through a pretty extensive process as our new head flag football coach for our program. Super fun. She also has coached throws for track. She co-leads our Best Buddies program, and she's an active participant with Unified Sports. She is among probably the most spirited Panther on our campus, although I probably will get in trouble if I say that, so I won't, and can always be seen dressed up for Spirit Days and cheering on Panthers. If you don't know what a cricket is, Liz is you use a cricket, right? That's the right one, right? I know there's a couple of them. She makes stickers, t-shirts. There's some contraband stickers that I saw the other day that have some patterns on them that weren't necessarily. I know, but every time I see something super cool and spirited, I'm like, hey, where'd you get that? And everybody kind of is like, Liz made it. And I'm like, okay, all right. So they have test days t-shirts in the math department. There was a holiday tree with personalized Lego minifigures for each of the math teachers. It's all of the things, and it's all Liz. And so what it really adds to our school is just a awesome spirit, and her compassion is a huge part of what shows through in all of that. So we feel super blessed and very lucky to have Liz Danielson as not only a teacher, but a coach. So she's amazing. So we're proud.
Thank you.
Next from Wood Creek High School, teacher Lisa Edmonston and principal Sue Ann Bell.
Thank you for letting me talk about Lisa tonight. And to her parents, I just want to publicly recognize how awesome she is. We're so lucky to have her at Wood Creek. Wood Creek is beyond proud to have Lisa Edmondson representing as our Teacher of the Year. I've told you this a bunch of times. She is dedicated. She's passionate for teaching. Her passion for teaching shines through in everything she does at Wood Creek. As both an English teacher and an English language learner teacher, her impact extends way beyond the classroom. Her classroom culture is based on respect, friendship, and support. She fosters a positive and inclusive atmosphere, empowering her students to succeed academically and, more importantly, personally. One of the most noteworthy aspects of Ms. Edmondson's work is her commitment and support for Wood Creek's English learners. Through Project GET, she has established a mentor program that provides invaluable guidance and support for her students. From weekly mentor connections to organizing various activities such as conversation cafes. If you ever get a chance to come out to these, you should come out. There's food, there's dancing, there's families, amazing events once a month.
March 4th.
Is the next one?
We're
Which one is it?
Panama.
So come on out.
Mama's cooking.
I come for the food. I celebrate cultures. World holiday celebrations, school events, and of course field trips she takes the kids on. Ms. Edmondson ensures that her EL students feel welcomed and integrated into the Wood Creek community. She also involves their families in the events she organizes, which helps foster a sense of belonging and support that extends far beyond the school environment. Lisa, I could go on and on about you to everyone listening right now. Your contributions extend beyond your role as a teacher to our students, but also to our staff as well. You are respected and loved by everyone who works with you because you are always willing to lend a helping hand or to provide guidance and support. Lisa, you are dedicated, you're compassionate, and you are a committed educator. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce you as the Wood Creek High School Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
As I mentioned before, we have 2 teachers that are moving on to the Placer County Teacher of the Year process, and our first teacher from Roseville High School, teacher Michael Austin and principal Ashley Sarin.
I'm gonna wait till the picture's up. It's fantastic. Yes. There we go, awesome. So I wrote 3 pages about this man, but Rob told me I only had 2 minutes, so I did the best I could. It is an honor to recognize Roseville High School's Teacher of the Year, Mr. Michael Austin. Mr. Austin currently serves as Roseville High School's band director, performing arts department coordinator, and theater manager. Along with teaching a full schedule of classes, Mr. Austin instructs various ensembles, organizes after-school rehearsals and events, and oversees extracurricular programs like the Winter Drumline and the Color Guard. In the 5 years he has been a Tiger, Mr. Austin has transformed the band program into a united, award-winning powerhouse, and this dedication has already yielded 2 first-place finishes this year. Beyond just the musical responsibilities, Mr. Austin serves as the Performing Arts Department Coordinator, where he manages department logistics and budgets and makes program decisions and fosters collaboration through events like the VAPA Art Night or our Performing Arts Showcase. As theater manager, Mr. Austin handles outside rentals, ensures smooth productions, and manages 2 on-campus theaters. He's even gone the extra mile and completely redesigned the band website. He raised over $35,000 to get new band uniforms, and he has built strong community partnerships. But what truly sets Mr. Austin apart is his passion for his students, for community, and for mentorship. His students speak highly of him, describing him as, quote, the greatest teacher who, quote, always pushes us to do our best and genuinely cares about every single one of his students. Parents echo those sentiments. They say that he, quote, embodies everything an educator should be. And they praise his exceptional impact on their children's lives and applaud his leadership and professionalism. His journey is rooted in a musical family. He was transformed himself by a band director at his high school, and it has led him to become the incredible leader that he is today on our campus. So it is an honor to recognize him as our Teacher of the Year, and such an honor to move him forward to the Placer County competition.
And our last teacher of the evening and our second teacher moving on to the Placer County Teacher of the Year process. From Granite Bay High School, please welcome Lisa Vaughn and Principal Greg Sloan. Congratulations.
All right, this award is for Lisa Vaughn, the teacher, and she's deserving of it for that alone. But when you combine that with her role as math department chair and how she goes above and beyond for Granite Bay High School, it becomes even more obvious of why she is representing Roseville Joint as a district teacher of the year. Our successes at GB are in large part due to her and her influence on our school. I have some words from her colleagues. She continuously strives to improve as a professional, whether that means improving the classroom environment, finding best teaching practices, embracing professional learning teamwork, building relations with students, and investing time to connect with colleagues in and out of the classroom. Through her various trainings, discussions with colleagues at the site, at other math departments, and throughout the district, her passion for math is exemplary and a lasting impact on the students. She influences their perception of the subject and their attitude towards learning. One teacher mentioned when they first came to the school, they felt a bond, but Lisa has really grown that into a family-type relationship. She works to build that family atmosphere in the department, and we don't have another department that has that tight-knit or that leadership. No offense to any of the department chairs watching, but I think they would all agree that that belongs to Lisa. Lisa is the ultimate teacher, leader, and this is me now again, and team player. I appreciate how she challenges me and keeps me on my toes. And she always keeps the focus on instruction and achievement for our students. Congratulations, Lisa.
That concludes our Teacher of the Year presentation. If we could give all of our Teachers of the Year one more round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of the board, we congratulate each and every one of you. We appreciate what you do every day. And let's win the big one, too. And we send you on your way to the district, or to the county. We'll take county. Oops. Oh, yeah. Mine little changes here. So we have to jump back to another thing that I missed earlier when I was skipping over stuff. Yes, I just wanted to get started. Since we already started, we should probably take a motion to approve our agenda. What do you think? Someone like to make a motion to approve our agenda? That way we don't have to undo all these congratulations we just gave.
I'll make a motion to approve.
So we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's 4-0 with one absent. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, we're now going to move into our next section of the agenda, which is reports and communications. We're going to start off first with our board objectives, and that is going to be shared with us by our newest board member, now that she is, 25 minutes into your first board meeting. Welcome.
I'm just looking for it real quick. Where is it?
5.1.
I'm just wondering why it's not coming up. But, okay. Our Roseville Joint Union High School District Board objectives are to prepare all students for life, college, and career, provide high-quality academic opportunities, supporting students' physical, mental, and emotional health, work in partnership with families and community. The school is a welcoming and safe environment that serves as the center of student learning, activities, athletics, and performing arts, and promotes a sense of community in the schools and the surrounding area. And last, to utilize effective governance and business practices, remain open, transparent, and accountable to the community, serve as an employer of choice with the highest quality of teachers and staff.
Thank you very much. We're now going to go into item 5.2, our board reports. And shall we just start this way and work our way down?
Sure. Congratulations to all of the teachers who have left, but I so enjoy listening to the contributions and just how each teacher uniquely goes above and beyond to just serve their school and students. So thank you. I think since the last meeting, I was out at West Park and got to hang out with Becky House and Kathy Eisenhower, which was very fun to throw in an AP. That's never happened before, so I enjoyed that very much. We saw a number of CTE classes, and I learned a little extra bit about dual enrollment Spanish. Woohoo! Which I think is a great contribution that we are learning about at the district office at this point, right? But and I, as a parent, was able to participate in Bantastic at Granite Bay, and I only bring it up because it was just a wonderful way to invite our 2 feeder junior high campuses who participate in band, and we had over 200 students playing and working together, and it was kind of the way to indoctrinate the junior hires to come and join the band at Granite Bay. So very fun.
Thank you. Heidi.
All right, congratulations again to the teachers. We're really blessed in my household to have Michael Austin. So I was excited to see that he moved up for County Teacher of the Year. My son loves him, and we grabbed him in the hallway at Roseville Bound, which was the incoming night. And I was able to introduce him to my 8th grader, and he practically has my 8th grader signed up for band, just like that. So, but we also got to do our, sign up my incoming 8th grader for Roseville High. So that was kind of my parent hat. And then board member hat, I had an awesome visit at Antelope High. I don't see Mrs. Cutts. Is Lindsay? They have showcase night. That's right. She told me that. So we had a great visit, and I'm so excited. I'm skipping ahead, but you know what I'm going to say. I do. We got to go to the bakery. I got to not only see how the muffins are made. I got to go to the Antelope High School bakery and have a muffin, and it was delicious. All the hype that I've heard about it, it lived up to that. So, but in addition to the muffins, we got to visit the Unified PE or Unified Sports, which I didn't even know about. So that was amazing to be a part of and see class. And I feel like we visited your class as well.
I'm bummed you didn't say it before the muffins.
I got really excited about the muffin. I apologize. I just had been wanting to try one for so long. And so, yes, thank you for the visit. And I learned just a lot about Antelope that I didn't know. And they're just a nice, close-knit community. I didn't realize the radius was so small and no buses. because it's such a tight little community. So it was very a special tour. So thank you for your time, and I'll thank Mrs. Cutts when I see her next. So.
Thank you. I just want to say, within 24 or 48 hours of you being there, I was at Antelope, and they kept me away from the bakery and the muffins. So I'm not sure exactly what that says, but that's a whole nother story. But I did have an opportunity to spend quite a bit of time at Antelope, and one of the things I really enjoyed was going to the ASL class and watching the American Sign Language class. I think that's something unique that we have in our district, that not all schools have an opportunity to provide that instruction to the students. And it was great just watching them. I got to be there during a test, so it was cool watching them respond and how they just did a great job. So it was really enjoyable to see that. And then I got to sit down with a bunch of students for, geez, it seemed like a long time, maybe over an hour, just to really chat and talk about all the different things that are happening on the campus and how everything was going, and really get the input from the students, which is always my favorite part of those visits. In addition to that, I went to the Placer County Office of Education budget training, and it was not as exciting as going to Antelope High School, but it's something that we have to do. And that's about all that I have done since the last board meeting that doesn't directly involve my kids and what they're doing. And then for our newest board member, what have you done in the last 25 minutes since you've been a board member?
Well, I got to take some pictures and say the pledge. And
You're doing a great job.
yeah, it's great so far.
Well, we'll look forward to a future report when you've had an opportunity to share in all this joy. Our next item is 5.3, which is superintendent and cabinet. So, John?
Yeah, there's no communications this evening, but first and foremost, welcome to Carrie. You know, finally up here on the dais with all of us. So, again, welcome. And then first, winter playoffs start this week. And so we have soccer, basketball, wrestling. Everything is going full steam ahead right now. So this is the first week of playoffs. I think soccer started last weekend, but if anybody's interested, check into your schools because we have a lot of teams competing. Some are really high seeds, so we may see some make it all the way through to the championship level. So congratulations to them. And then shared to me by Ms. Huber that was here a little while ago, today it was really cool on Good Day. Oakmont's drama program got to officially announce that they're going to do Six, the musical. They got permission from the Six crew, but they were not allowed. They had to hold it for a secret for how long, Isabel? A couple weeks?
I didn't know until this morning.
Yeah, so a couple weeks. The students could not tell. That was the agreement from whoever owns the rights to Six for them to do it. They could not tell anybody until today. And so Good Day came out and they got to share that, and they were so excited. Holding a secret, I mean, teenagers holding a secret for that long is pretty impressive. So they got to do that, and it was really cool to watch. I shared that link with you all. So good luck to that. And they looked really excited. It was really fun to watch them. So that's all I have.
Great. We'll work our way right down the row. Joe?
I don't have a whole lot other than welcome to the team, Carrie. Look forward to working with you. And that's it.
I don't have much as well. Want to welcome you, Carrie. It was a pleasure to get to know you last Friday. Look forward to working with you. And a hearty congratulations to all of our Teachers of the Year.
Ditto.
Good job. Melanie?
On the same note, welcome, Carrie, for your first meeting, and congratulations again to all the teachers and everyone. Principals, thank you for presenting great stuff about your teachers. Good job.
Wonderful. Our next item is 5.4, committee reports. We had one committee, I believe, that met. I don't think Finance Committee met, did it? Nope. So the Policy Committee met. We're gonna talk lots about policies today, so you'll hear all about what we did. But essentially, there are a whole bunch that we forwarded to us that we're gonna talk about today. Some on the consent calendar, some that will be pulled for discussion, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that we sent back for more work and for some review. And I think that's it from committee reports. We go on to our most important board member reports, to our student board reports.
All right. It's good to be back. Congratulations, Carrie. It's good meeting you, and congratulations to all the teachers. It's cool to see that Roseville's winning again, going up to the second ranks. Get to know we're winners. But so I wanted to give a little bit of a share out of what's been going on at Roseville. So we had our Casaba rally and dance, which went really well. I went to both and I enjoyed them. We just did a Talking Tigers about it to get feedback, which is where we just bring all the students in and get feedback from any upcoming or past events that we had. And then also our academic decathlon team came in second, so that was really cool. And we also just had a blood drive, and our goal was 51 pints of blood, and we got 52. So beating our goals. And we had our enrollment night, which Heidi mentioned, for our 8th graders, and that went really well. And we also made playoffs for girls and boys soccer and boys basketball and wrestling. And a few things we're looking forward to is our talent show this Thursday and our spring rally in March. So yeah, I think that's all from me. And pass it over. Pass the baton.
I would like to start off by saying welcome, Miss Carrie. It's really nice to meet you today. And then at Roseville Pathways, we have been doing our Spirit Mondays through the month of February. So we have each student dress up, and if they do dress up and participate in these Spirit Mondays, we will allow them to receive 10 Pride Points towards our student store. And then we also just hosted our CTE showcase for incoming 8th graders and people interested in coming to Roseville Pathways. And that's about it.
Thank you very much. Our next report is the Natalie report, RSCA. Welcome.
I wish if Natalie report would be a totally different report. Okay, very good. Good evening, and as always, thank you again for this time. Welcome to the new board members, Carrie, and then Tiffany, unfortunately, is not here. It's going to be a short one. I'm going to be a little vulnerable. I'm a little nervous coming into where we're going forward. I had a lot of conversations, and I really was listening, and as you know, as for the RCA and unions, we were watching areas around us, and we're kind of paying attention. And I also know it's like, having the teachers here and representing the teachers, as you saw the showcase of what excellence teachers we have in the wonderful district that we work with. And there's a reason why I never left, even though I said I was going to leave 3 years after my first 3 years, but that's a different story. That's on the Natalie report. But with that, I always tell teachers when they're coming in is don't come in just assuming you're going to shine, because you have a lot of work to do. And you saw the tireless teachers that were here and the rapport that they give, and it was why we are so excellent in what we do. And I really take pride in that and speaking for it and representing the teachers. However, as we move forward, I'm asking that you don't take perception as a means of factual information. That as you go out, as I always tell people, until you understand what it's like to be a teacher, any student that walks through that door has the same opportunity of anybody else to get the education, because we are a public service for these children. And as we know, if you're not in the room all the time, is we need help and we need resources. And those resources are extremely valuable. And I encourage you, and I thank you, Mr. Constance, for actually talking about like how you met with students, is please come visit our sites, come talk to our students, come talk to our teachers. If you want to, I'm there, I'll help you set it up. I know sometimes we're a little nervous, we're like, oh my goodness, because you guys are put on the pedestal because you're like here, and it makes us nervous, because I know, don't roll your eyes, it's true. Because it's just one of it's a very vulnerable moment. But I just take the time and work with us. I'm here, and I will reach out and just, we value what we have here. And I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward to maintain the excellence that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next item is public comment. I have a few cards here, but not 10. So we'll have 3 minutes for each person. We're first going to hear from Joshua Coleman, followed by Otto Coleman. Come on up. Just make sure when you... Yeah, we can bring the microphone to you, if that makes it easier. Melanie, why don't you have me use your microphone right there?
I'm going to start. Okay. You're more than welcome to use it when you go.
And just to be clear, you're Joshua?
I'm Joshua,
Okay,
yes.
Joshua, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Joshua Coleman, and this is my son, Otto. Otto's a freshman at Oakmont, and we're having a couple of issues this school year that I'm going to bring to your attention in hopes they can be rectified. So there's a theater room building at the school. I attended a school orientation type event with Otto before the school year began that was held in that building. So we were able to access the building from the top. The majority of the seats in that room are accessed by stairs, which obviously Otto cannot use. On the top floor where we entered, there is no designated spots for people with physical disabilities, no seats he can access. So we sat behind the last row in the theater, unable to see much of the stage or the event. I also accompanied Otto when he needed to come by the school and pick up his school books. We again had to go into that theater to get his books. We entered at the top, but were told the books were being handed out at the bottom. Again, Otto can't maneuver downstairs. So I asked a staff member how my son is supposed to pick up his books. She told me, "You can walk down and grab them for him." I responded saying, "I'm not always going to be here with him, so how is he supposed to access that area on his own?" She told me that Otto would have to pre-arrange with a staff member who has a key to the building to meet him at a back door behind the building where he could enter, go across the stage, and then take a lift down to the lower level. So the school year begins, and Otto was assigned to take pictures of a play for a yearbook class that would be in that theater. The teacher prearranged for Otto to be met at the back door by a staff member. Otto went to that door and waited, and no one ever showed. So he ended up attending the event from the back of the room, the only place he could access where he was unable to see the play or complete his assignment. So Otto tried again, so his teacher prearranged a second time for a staff member to meet him at the back door and let him into the play. Once again, no staff member showed up, and Otto was unable to access the event and complete his assignment. A third time, Otto was supposed to go with his class to the theater to watch the play, and Otto asked his teacher if he could just stay in the class and read because there's nowhere he can sit and actually see the play. The teacher's response was, "Yeah, sure, you can stay in the classroom." I'm shocked and disappointed that this teacher, who I'm not going to name, made no effort to help my son in any way be able to participate in this event with all other students. So I brought this issue up at Otto's IEP meeting over 3 months ago, and I'm unaware of any changes being made since. I just recently spoke with the California Department of Civil Rights, and they have said that building is not ADA compliant. There's no access for a person with mobility issues, and the setup with the back door and lift is a safety risk. That's their words. So I'm asking for the appropriate accommodations that are required by law be implemented into that theater as soon as possible.
Thank you. And Otto?
Hi, everybody. We are having an issue with the parking at Oakmont. There's a good number of disabled spots available at the school. I need to use one of those spots because I need extra room to be able to load and unload out of the car with my chair. The problem is, many people park in those spots who do not have disabled placards or license plates. This happens from time to time. It's happened at other schools I've been to, like Sargent Elementary and Ike Middle School. What has happened in the past is my dad will tell the office that there are people parking in those spots without the appropriate tags, and a staff member will come out from the office to tell that person that they need to move. Usually when that happens, that person never parks in those spots again. At Oakmont, this happens quite a lot. Sometimes there are no available spots for us to park because they are filled with several people who do not have the appropriate tags. My dad has told the office at Oakmont about this multiple times, and he is always told, "We're really busy right now, we'll try and get someone out there, but we might not get to it." And so far, no staff member has ever come out by our request to ask someone to move. At Sargent, every time my dad brought it to the attention of the office, a staff member came out and asked that person or persons to move. At Ike, every time my dad brought it to the attention of the office, a staff member came out and asked that person or persons to move. This has never happened at Oakmont, and now it's gotten worse and worse, probably because there has been no one making any effort to try and prevent this from happening. People like me need these spots in order to park, and it is very unfair that we get majorly inconvenienced by inconsiderate people who take advantage of others. We propose a solution to this problem. We are requesting that twice a week and on all rainy days, because rainy days are the worst, a staff member comes out at the end of the school day a couple minutes before the bell rings, so around 3:17, to ask the individuals who are parked in those spots without the appropriate tags to move. Better yet, there is a police officer on campus every day. It would probably be even more effective if he could come out and do it. We believe that this would vastly improve the parking issues at the school and make it easier for people who need those spots to park to be actually accommodated. Thank you.
Thank you. So before we move on to the next speaker, we'll just make sure that Superintendent and Joe, you follow up on that. And on the parking issue, I think perhaps you could just refer that to Roseville PD and have them just come start issuing citations so that at least that part can get taken care of right away. And we'll make sure you get contacted from the superintendent's office to work on these issues. All right, our next speaker is going to be Christina, followed by Karen.
Okay. In this district, there's been an increased level of monitoring students' behavior. Within this past year, RJU applied and received a grant called Kaiser Wellness Grant with Kaiser Permanente, Northern California region, to expand testing to all students regarding their socio-emotional strengths and challenges. Learning all this didn't come from any efforts by the district staff being entirely transparent or communicating the full picture up front to parents in the community. Then to hear that the test results were made available to students. Why are parents and guardians not included in the test result process? Why wasn't the public made aware that accepting $25,000 to test children's behavior was going to be used as a mechanism for the Wellness Center to approach any students that may screen as higher need, and that information is made available for Kaiser to access? District staff applied last year for another grant in the amount of $750,000. with the Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative. Why wasn't this proposal brought before the board for review and approval? The proposal for this project is a significant change to the district. I have legitimate concerns on the level of disconnect, lack of communication, and transparency that falls under the direction of the board and superintendent. Where is the organizational structure of grants, and how does it align with the district's mission? I'm asking the board and superintendent to address what is the current grant process for any and all grant agreements that are submitted and selected on behalf of the district. Why didn't these grant proposals come before the board and public? Why wasn't the full picture communicated up front? Why was the messaging different at several school sites regarding the co-vitality screening? Lastly, how much time is all this testing happening in the classroom, taking away from instructional time? The focus on inserting mental health staff at every effort is beyond glaring and alarming. Is the district shifting its mission from academics to becoming a mental health clinic, also known as a school-based health center or community schools, if you've heard or seen the teachers union fundraising and marketing efforts? I'm requesting the board create a policy or give direction to the superintendent that every grant request shall come before the board before submitting for approval. In the event a grant request is submitted without board approval, review and approval, funds cannot be drawn down until the grant has received board approval. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Karen Combest, and I sent the board large email today with a lot of attachments. I don't anticipate that you had time to review it, but I ask that you do so, and that at a future board meeting, you specifically address and update the public on what is happening with the Roseville Joint's participation in the Children and Youth Behavioral Initiative Cohort 1, which went into effect on January 1st of 2024, and be very transparent as to what the implications are for students and families in this district. Because basically it expands the behavioral and mental health services that Roseville Joint will be providing students. There's over 30 pages in that document of what those services are, and these are for the general population, not just IEP and 504 students. And the categories include psychoeducation, screenings and assessments, treatment services, therapy, care coordination, and case management. In effect, what is happening is that the strategic direction of the district is changing and expanding from educating our students to providing mental health services. And then the next step is actually physical and medical services, which is a policy that was brought to the Policy Review Committee last week. That's the only policy, by the way, that allows for Medi-Cal billing. And so the dependency of this cohort 1 is board policy 6164.2, which is on 6.12 board agenda item. And that expands the ability of the counselors, including guidance counselors, wellness center counselors, the interns, to provide mental health therapy sessions with all students. What will happen is that those students who are over 12 can consent without parental notification or even awareness. What will happen based on cohort 1, leveraging the fee schedules, is that those services can be billed to either Medi-Cal or to Kaiser, your personal health care, and you as a parent have no ability to consent, approve, or be a part of that information because those activities will happen potentially without your engagement. So that's a significant and strategic direction, which if that's the case, be transparent. Tell the parents and the community and the taxpayers the full story of what your intentions are with this district, taking it all this time and energy away from educating the students and providing them mental health services. Next, it will be community-based schools, medical clinics, where you will provide vaccinations, reproductive care, dental services, vision. And while that may be the direction of the district, you at least need to be transparent and forthcoming. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We are now going to move into the consent agenda, but we've got a few things before we approve the consent agenda. So we have a request to pull 6.10, correct? That's the school accountability reports.
I'd like to make it
Okay, just a comment. So hold off, but I'll come back to that. And then I think we have a lot of people want to talk about a lot of things on the board policies, so I'm just going to pull 612, and then we're going to take it as an action item. We're just going to go through them so that we don't miss anything, because each board member has brought up at least one to me, so I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to talk about those. And then I think that was it. Was there anything else besides that? So I'm going to let Marla make her comment on 610, and then Brad has a comment to make on one of the items. Then we'll take a motion on everything except for 612, and then we'll hear 612 right after that. Marla.
610 had a wealth of rich data. So I, of course, started to have questions and wanted to make comments. And then I learned that in 2 weeks, we're going to have a presentation on all of that data, and we'll have a robust conversation. And so I did no longer have comments today, but I thought that would be nice for everyone to know.
Yeah, I think it's helpful for others to know, because I know there were others who had some questions. Brad, I believe you had a comment on 6.8, was that correct?
Yes, 6.8, the resignations. I just want to point out that we have a number of teachers who are resigning for the purposes of retirement that are listed there. There was one oversight, and that's Jill Kova is on there, a Spanish teacher. She is also resigning for purposes of retirement after 35 years in the district. But at this point, we currently have 20 certificated and 9 classified employees that are scheduled to retire at the end of the school year. Some incredible employees who are going to be very difficult to replace, but I would like to invite all of you, and you'll get a formal invitation to our retirement reception, which will be on Thursday, May 2nd at Wood Creek Oaks, and it's from 4:30 to 6:30. It's a great opportunity to just recognize all of our retirees and honor their service to the district. So thank you.
Great. And just so I get it correct, it was Jill Kova we're going to add for purposes of retirement.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, do I have a motion with that amendment on the consent agenda, not counting item 6.12, which we'll hear next?
I'll make a motion to approve everything you just said.
Thank you.
And I rarely say that. Right.
Any discussion on this? All right, we're going to go around the room. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, that passes 4-0 with one absent. Now we are going to go to item 6.12. Now, since we have a number of people that want to speak on these, what we're going to do, assuming it's okay with the rest of you, we're just going to start at the top. I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions or comments or concerns on each one. If you do, I'm going to write it down, and then we'll talk about those, and then we'll attempt to take one motion. If we can't do that, we'll break it up into multiple motions. So, business services, AR 3400. Anybody need to say anything about that? Seeing none. Human resources, ARs, two ARs, 1312.3 and 1312.4. I believe someone did make a comment to me on 1312.3. That is, if I'm understanding this and remembering this correctly, that's the one where we pulled the BP, and the suggestion of one of the board members was that we should pull the AR so the BP and AR move forward together so they're in context with each other. Is anyone opposed to doing that? Okay, so with that, we're going to pull that, and we'll hear that one when the BP comes back. 1312.14, I don't believe we pulled the BP. Does anyone have any comments or issues on that one? Seeing none, we're going to now go to Ed Services. Ed Services, the first one is Local Control and Accountability Plan, which is BP and AR 0460. I don't have that on my list. Is there anyone who has anything to say or concerns with that? Okay. Our next one is an AR, where am I here? 1312.2. Are you having problems with yours?
Yes.
We can share. 1312.2, but I gotta make it bigger if we're gonna do that. Oh, not that big. All right, 1312.2, anybody? Okay, oh wait,
Is that one with the AR? Because
That is.
oh yes, okay, 1312,
we were looking for clarification on the board policy.
Correct.
yes,
And
so,
So it wasn't,
hang on, I've got my notes up on that, we can look real quick.
I did not think that it was the 1312.3. I thought it was the 1312.2.
All right, hang on, let me look real quick. You are correct, I misspoke earlier, so. When I mentioned earlier the first AR, the 1312.3, that was incorrect. I meant to be referring to this one, the 1312.2. Okay? As long as Kim is clear on this, she's the one who keeps our official records. So 1312.2 is the one that had the BP that we held off on, so we will,
Also hold off on the AR.
we'll bring that when the BP comes, okay? And then next one is courses of study, 6143. We're just going to make a comment on that, I believe.
yes.
That's from Marla.
In this policy, I noticed that it said that we offered driver's training and driver's ed. And so I had to ask Ed Services if we did. And apparently we do offer some free online driver's training available to all students.
Education, not training.
Oh, sorry. The written portion so that you can then take the test. My husband's in charge of all this. I just say, but I recently just paid for my own child to take it somewhere else, so I had no idea that we did that. So maybe we just need to rethink how we're communicating that to our.
If it makes you feel better, I paid 5 times recently for this, and I didn't know, so.
Well, and
Hopefully, we'll get the word out as we go along, save some parents some money.
do we know how parents can access that? Like, where is it? Is it on each individual high school website?
Oh, I'll turn mine off, go ahead.
Yes, most of that communication comes from our school sites, and it is the driver's education component and not the behind the wheel training. And it is offered throughout the year. There are some specific criteria. You do have to be 15 and a half to enroll, or by the time of completion of the course, 15 and a half, and there's specific other criteria associated, but to all of our board's point, we'll make sure that we communicate that regularly on top of having our school principals communicate that regularly. So we'll take a dual prong approach.
I'm going to venture to say it was probably one of the many emails that I've gotten and deleted before fully reading.
The other thing we need to be aware of, the credential to teach that is not something that is readily available. We only have 2 teachers, I believe, in the district that still hold that credential. It's been phased out, and so I'm not sure how much longer we'll even have someone who's credentialed to teach that course moving forward.
All right, so now you know. All right, we're going to keep moving. 6146.1, I do not see on my, 6146, I do not see that on my list. Anyone have any issues with that? Okay. Oh, I can take this back now.
Yeah.
Okay. 6146.4. 6146, that's not on my list. BP and AR 6161.1 is not on my list. Anybody have anything they'd like to discuss on that?
Oh, only the AR.
Picture.
The AR, is that another one? Since when we were looking for,
Let me check real quick here. Let me pull the other one up.
The other one is 5145.3.
So we moved,
Okay.
yeah, the policy committee moved both of those forward.
Well-
Do you want to discuss that one? We can come back to it if you'd like to.
let's come back to it, because I
Okay.
want to read through, maybe there was an update since the last time I read through it.
All right, I will mark that one down. We'll come back to that one. Sorry, you guys, we have a lot of these. 6163.1, I don't have that on my list. Oh, wait, I do. Hang on, 61, let me see what my notes are on that. Could just be that I can't read my notes again. 6143. No, that's not on my list. Anyone have that on their list? Okay.
Which one?
6163.1.
I do have a question.
Okay, don't ask it yet. We're going to come back to it. 6163.1 BP. All right. Now going to student services, 5116.2, which is involuntary student transfers. Next one is 5131.2, the AR.
Sorry, it wasn't 511, sorry, oh my gosh, all these numbers. 5116.2. That one referenced the board policy 410, which got pulled from my note. At least that's, yeah, according to the notes.
Let me, we'll check that.
Okay.
So 5116.2 BP. All right, 5131.2, let me check my notes here. 5130. That one is one that we pulled the BP, so we're going to pull that AR as well for now. Then 5141.21, I do not have on my list. Does anyone have that on their list? Your list is nice and short, huh, Carson? All right. 6164.2, which is a BP. All right, let me write that one down. 6164.2 BP.
We were pulling that one, right?
Yeah, that's what we're going through. She just said pull, so pull for discussion? Yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay. All right. Next one's 6173. I don't have that on my list. Look good. 6173, the AR to go with it. Yeah, we're good. 6173.1 BP and AR, I think we're good with that one. And then 6173.3 AR, I think we're good with that one. So what I have on my list that we're gonna have some quick questions and then we'll move forward on, decide what we're gonna do. I'm gonna roll back to the top. And we are going to have 6161.1. Let me find that again. 6161.1 BPAR, that's selection and evaluation of instructional materials. Somebody wanted to ask a question for clarification. 6161.1. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Just jump in on
Yeah,
this
I
one,
think
so-
that one had the reference to the board policy of 410
Okay.
that got pulled.
So we wanted to
we could
bring,
wait for that
we
one.
wanted to bring that back. So we're gonna take 6161.1 BP and AR, we're gonna bring that back when BP 410 comes, so we're reading them in context with each other. Okay? Then we're gonna go to 6163.1, Library Media Centers. 6163.1.
I did have a question
Okay.
on that one. There was a reference in it that books can not be used in the classroom, or everything used in the classroom if it's available in the library, right? So my question was, if we are reviewing some books still, I know there was a process with some discussion several months ago. Do we want to wait for that to have like a clean slate of what's in the library? Or then, because it's saying that you can't just remove things. So what's gonna be the process moving forward of how we're looking at that?
So, and staff, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is the state changed the law on the criteria. And so we are simply just making sure that our current policy complies with state law. It's not connected to what this board may choose to do with any text in class or text in a library. It just is recognizing the state law has changed and making sure we're compliant with state law.
Yeah.
So does that make it good for you?
Yes.
Anybody else have any concerns on that? Okay, so I'm gonna cross that one. Oops.
I'm just here if you need me.
Okay, did I get it right?
You got it right.
Okay, so I'm gonna cross that one off our list. Okay, it's hard for me to remember back a whole week to when we talked about this. So now we're gonna go 5116.2, which is the involuntary student transfers.
I think that one also had the reference to 410.
Okay,
in it.
can you double check real quick? It does, okay. John says it does, so therefore it does.
3, 4, 5, 5th paragraph down.
Okay. So 5116.2 is going to come back with 410 so that we're dealing with them in context with each other. And then our last one, 6164.2, let me find that one. That is 6164.2. That's guidance counseling services, and I remember someone said they wanted to make a comment or have a question on it. Is that correct?
I'd like to make a comment. I'd
Okay.
like us to pull it all together so we can have a larger discussion about it, since that also incorporates the CYB HI Core 1 that was mentioned in public comments. I'd just like to have a broader discussion so we understand what all those changes mean for us
At a future?
at a future
Okay.
date.
John, did you have any update on that particular one?
For the youth deal, whatever that acronym is that the one you want to talk about? So we are actually working with PCOE to get out of that. It's the pilot, and they're not even ready to run the pilot yet. So we're actually not doing anything with any of it. And we're only in it for the reimbursement aspect of it, which we already have a mechanism for. So we're actually working with PCOE to not even be a part of it.
just because it doesn't impact any of this, but there's a lot of confusion around it.
Okay.
One, we will never be a community district or schools. Let's just cut that out right now. That's never happening. And this has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Unless we're in a meeting. That's the only way any of us get reimbursed, is if we're actually in a meeting talking about these types of students and situations, so.
Okay, I'd still like to pull that because there's a lot of,
So
okay.
what I'm hearing from John
Yes.
is that there's no need to make these changes because we are changing our course from an administrative perspective. There are some things here that apply to a new law, so my suggestion is that we pull this today, refer it back to the superintendent so that you can decide based on the decisions and the discussions you're having with PCOE. If you believe changes need to be made, then you will bring it back to us when you're ready to do so. I want you to straighten that section out.
That sounds great.
Okay. All right. So, in summary, what we've done so far is we're going to take 61.1 and 51.16.2, and we are going to hold those until we get 410, and we're going to see them in concert with each other. We also had those other ones we discussed that we're holding off the ARs until the BPs come. Do you want to read that list, or do you have it to where you can read it, or would you like me to take a stab at it?
I can go back and find it.
Okay, we'll hold off on that. Why don't, while I'm talking, you figure that out. I just want to make sure that they know what we think we know.
From the BPRC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 64.2 is being pulled until John figures it out. And Marla's made the comments that you wanted to make on the ones that you had, the two. You don't have any issues. Well, you have issues, but none on this. And you're good with where we are right now, right?
I am very happy with how that's moving forward, correct?
Okay, so we're gonna make sure that we are correct. I'm gonna pull my notes up to make sure you and I are on the same page.
So can we go over this one right now? So we're going to hold on to BPAR 6161.1. Hold on to BP 5116.2.
And that's gonna come with 410 when
Right,
it comes
with the
back, yep.
410 board, both of them. We're pulling, did we decide to pull AR 5131.2?
Hang on, 5131.2, hang on, 51, yes, that,
So that's on hold. We're going to go forward with BP 6163.1. So that'll be on the consent to go forward. And then BP 6164.2 is pulled until future with superintendent and PCOE. And then, did you want to talk about the BPRC? What we
so I'm looking at
discussed?
that right now, and I think we have gotten all of those, but give me 1 second just to read my notes. So BP 1312.2 and AR 1312.2, one was here, one was not. They're both going to be held till they come back together. Not on that list, not on that list, not on that list, not on that list. Not on the list. BP. Yeah, I think we are good. Okay. So, this is not on the consent agenda, so now this is an individual action item. So I'm going to ask for a motion that we are going to approve everything in item 6.12 with the exception of those that have been pulled to come back with the ARs, the two that have been pulled to come back with BP 410, and the one that has been put in abeyance until John works on things with PCOE. Someone want to make that motion of what I just said?
I'll make a motion to approve everything you just said.
You missed the part about agreeing with me, but okay.
I will second.
All right. And Kim has it all right in her notes, and Kim and I will get together afterwards to make sure we have it exactly right. Okay. Any discussion on that? You guys clear enough on this to vote?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you, Carson.
Yes.
Sarah, thank you.
Yes.
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 All right. We made it through that. Sorry, everyone, that was so long, but we had a lot of moving parts on that particular one. Now we're starting our actual action. So our first item is appointment to district committee assignments. We normally do this in January, and we did do this in January, but since then, we have 2 new board members. John and I have asked each of the board members where they want to have their assignments. And the only area where, believe it or not, everybody wants to be on is board policy review. So I think everybody has asked to be on board policy review. Typically, the way we've had board policy review is we've had one of the newest members and one of the medium to oldest members on there so that we could kind of work through things together. But heck, we're all new. So both.
Actually, Pete, I believe I did not request that.
Oh, you did not? Wow. Okay, well, you're out.
So I'm out.
But both Carrie and Tiffany asked, and then Heidi and I are currently on. We'll come back to that in a minute. Nobody asked to be on finance and facilities, but Heidi and Marla. But I mean, you're already on it.
That's the one I asked for.
Oh, okay. Well, you're already on it.
Okay.
I meant anyone who's not on it being asked to be on it. Student board reps there. Silt, you asked to stay on. Athletics, nobody has, I don't think, asked for. So we really have to come to a decision on who would like to be in athletics, the liaison. And that's just a once or twice school year meeting. And then Heidi, you're on 2 committees now. So my suggestion would be that you stay on facilities and jump off policy, or if you want to stay on policy, you stay on policy and jump off facilities. If you stay on policies, I'll get off policies. I think only one of the 2 of us should be on there. You pick. I'm letting you choose.
I'm fine to do. Oh, I am up for staying on finance and facilities and letting one of the new trustees do
Okay.
policy, because policy is fun.
Done. You're gone. Okay. So, so that means I will stay, and between you and Tiffany sitting next to you, you can argue about who would like to be on. And the penalty for missing a meeting is you don't have a voice. So would you like to be on?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel bad, but we can only have one. So, so the way it's going to be then is finance and facilities will be Heidi and Marla. Board policy review will be me and Carrie. And then we are going to take the athletics, which we don't have it in. We're going to give that to Tiffany. And
May I suggest you put Tiffany on SILT?
instead of you?
No, together. Well, originally there was always 2 of us.
Yeah.
Was there?
SILT.
Okay.
Silt
Yes.
is good.
I think that's a great one for
Okay.
the new.
Then that's done.
Can I ask a question about committees?
You can ask anything you want.
So when it comes to committees, the one committee I don't see on here is LCAP, and it seems like a really important one. I know it doesn't happen, well, I guess it does happen every year, but it's affected every 3 years. And I wondered, is it possible for a board member to be on the LCAP committee?
There is not actually a board committee for LCAP because that's a parent-driven advisory to the board. So since we're looking for them to give the information for us to take action, we can't really advise ourselves. So putting us on there would be advisory to ourselves. So that's why we don't do that. And then the PCOE committees, essentially, we don't really get to pick because those are done when you guys threw me under the bus and made me put my name on the ballot for that. So are you clear on those? I'm going to read them one more time so the public knows. Finance and facilities will be Heidi and Marla. Board policy will be me and Carrie. I'm only talking about the changes here. SILT will be Marla and Tiffany, sorry. Athletics will be Tiffany. So Tiffany gets 2, you get 1, but there's 3 times as much work on that one. All right, we need a motion for that.
I make a motion to approve those updates.
I'll second.
All right. Are you good giving work to other people?
Yes.
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 Yes, okay. All right. Our next action item is approval of new course and supplemental materials, the whole reason Jessica is with us today, right? All right. Do we have a presentation on this? I know we have all the documentation.
We're going to present for you. We're here. Actually, we're here to answer questions if you have questions.
All right, so for everybody who doesn't have their agenda in front of you, this is approval of, oops, did I forget some people?
I guess it doesn't matter.
Karen, I missed you on, where are you? Are you still here? Yes. I missed you on policies. Sorry, we were so into talking about all the policies. Are you happy with where we ended up, or you have anything to say?
I think what is on the record is important, so yes.
Okay, thank you, and I'm sorry I missed you. It wasn't intentional, it's just we got talking about all that other stuff. Okay, back to this. So this is our board action to approve a new course and supplemental materials. That new course is the AP African American Studies course. For everyone who may not have been here, we approved this as a pilot program about a year ago-ish, maybe a little more than a year ago. And it has been implemented at Roseville High School, and Jessica has been doing that. Is it anywhere? It's one other location too, Antelope High School.
We're the 2 schools piloting right now.
I know I have been in that course for a visit. I think all the 3 of us have been. Carson has been in the class. Carson, you have anything that you'd like to share with us about the class? Put your mic on.
Okay, I wrote a little bit just about the course. I'm in it, and when I heard about it, I knew I had to take it. I was really excited. It is an optional course, but just like a few of the things we've been learning, I just wanted to go over what we've been learning. It's super cool. It's like an insanely enriched class, like with knowledge. We've learned about all the African kingdoms, and we've been learning about what slavery was like during the Atlantic slave trade and exactly what was it like during the slave auctions. And we've seen just like images of slave auctions and like what was written about them. And we've also been learning about individuals, which we just did this project called the February Highlights that we've been working on. And we've just been learning about individuals, and one lady that I was researching, she was a World War II spy, and she would sing and like get information about just the enemy, which was Germany, and she would just relay back to the French, which I thought that was super cool. And I've loved this course. We just did a project about doing masks and creating the masks of African kingdoms, and I did the Kingdom of Congo, and it was just super cool. It's very an interactive class, and it's so much knowledge that's not normally taught. And I really, really like the course so far, and I think it's a really, really cool course, and I hope it gets approved. So I think that's all from me.
Well, thank you. I'll just say that when I went and visited, it's probably one of the most engaged classrooms I've been in, and I was there for the mask part.
Yeah.
So got to see that. Any questions, comments before we? Is there anything you would like to add, either of the 2 of you?
I think
You have to come to a mic if you're going to say something.
we both really agree that this class is
Get to the mic, get to the mic, get to the mic. Push the buttons. I know.
I know
We
you
love
missed
hearing-
me.
You
I
know
know
we
you
love
missed
hearing
me.
from you.
Okay, so I know that Dana and I both have really enjoyed what this class is. We also teach with Rob Richards at Antelope, and the things that we've learned just covering this is really powerful and that we're bringing into the classroom, and it is really interactive. What I really appreciate about this class is it's probably one of the more interactive history classes because it's more like a blend of different studies. So I really appreciate how this class has allowed us that flexibility compared to like more traditional history classes. And I know I have some other students that are here as well that had it that would probably speak more than what I can say. So I'm done. Bye.
We do have one student, I believe, Sophia, right? Come on up.
Good evening, board members, parents, and fellow students. My name is Sophia Perez, and I'm a student who was a part of the first cohort of the AP African American Studies class at Roseville High last semester. I chose to take this class because I'm interested in learning about other cultures and more about the history of the world in general. This class was by far my favorite social studies class I've taken due to the material, the projects, and the community held within the class. The material had a balance of information from various sources and points of view that helped us further understand and appreciate a group of people that we don't get much elaboration on in our other history classes. But for a student who wants to major in international business in college, there are limited options to pursue business at Roseville High School, but this class allowed me to further explore the other side of the international for me to further enrich myself in my passion. As an elective course, it gives AP students like me or other students who wish to further their education an opportunity to expand their knowledge of history and enrich themselves academically. Many of my friends are already signed up to take this class next year and in the years following, and after hearing my high praise about the class and Mrs. Fork as a teacher, I can tell you that all of them are excited to take it. I hope that my insight from inside the AP African American Studies class will help you in your decision to approve this for years to come and let other students like me choose to enrich themselves with its curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. You can clap. Go ahead. We allow clapping at our meetings as long as there's not 100 people clapping at every single item. So, all right, to the board. It is time to make a motion.
I will make a motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Carson, no. You shook your head no? You voted no. No, I'm just messing with that.
I didn't turn the microphone. There we go. Yes.
All right, Sarah.
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. I like making fun of Carson, if you haven't noticed. So, all right, that is the last of our action items. So now we're going to go into our informational items. 8.1, it's just the first reading of our textbooks. If anybody has anything they'd like to discuss on it, otherwise we're going to move right on to our next item. Our next item is staff comments. Any comments from staff other than what we've already gotten? All right. Pending agenda items. In your packet, you've got an outline of all of our upcoming meetings and what we are going to be talking about.
Pete, can I add some direction to provide guidance on what the grant approval process is and how the board participates in that? Whether that's informational, just I don't know how it works.
Why don't we start with an informational, something from the superintendent, and then if any board member feels we need to have a discussion to change or do anything else, we'll bring it to the board. I will say that what's not on our Horizon report is a few things. We obviously have 2 new board members. There's a number of things that I think it would benefit us to have some conversations on. One is, and I've talked to our superintendent about, I think, all of these, so they shouldn't be surprising him. One is to have a discussion about our policy process, because I know there's been a lot of questions, and certain times of the year, like now, we're getting a lot of them. So when we get a lot of policies, we get a lot of questions. So we will be scheduling at one of these upcoming meetings a discussion of a presentation of what our policy process is, and that will include kind of the gamut, all the outside sources, and then it won't be an action item, but it'll be an opportunity for us to ask questions, get our questions answered, have a discussion, and determine if we want to make any changes. And if we do, then we'll agendize changes. I think it's also would be helpful for us to have some training sessions so that we're all on the same page, because we've had a lot of discussions about Brown Act and the differences now with 2 new board members. Maybe we just have a Brown Act session, and if there's any other training that people think that we would benefit, let me or John know, and we'll start scheduling those in since we're all fairly new. We'll get all that worked out. All right? Did I miss anything, John? All right. With that, there's one important item of business left, and that's a motion to adjourn. Anyone like to make, oh, wait. Is anyone here for something else that we missed? Uh-oh.
6.4 approval overnight field trip.
We did hear that, but come up to the microphone. Did you,
They want to.
come on up. I'm sorry.
Did your coach come too?
Ah.
I talked to
See,
him earlier.
I will just
Yeah.
say that Heidi was observant enough to notice that we missed something. So anybody who wants to talk on this item, even though we've already heard it, please do.
Okay, hi, my name is Megan Newton. I'm a junior at Roseville High, and behind me in all those white shorts, those are my amazing teammates from our volleyball program. And this year we got accepted into a tournament in Hawaii, and we are all like so excited for the invitation. Our team, we played in the section championship game this past fall, and we ended up losing, but it really put us on the map. We played in a couple state playoff games, and then we ended up losing those too, but Hawaii is pretty much our next stop, and we want to dominate in Hawaii, but we need your guys' approval for that. So if you could think about it, and please send us to Hawaii.
So we approved it before you guys came in the room, so you are approved.
Thank you.
Pete, under the condition, board president and superintendent have to go.
Yeah, did you decide which one of us you're taking? So.
Oh, you should volunteer to chaperone.
Yeah.
I did. When I got it to put on the agenda.
All right. Now would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, they had like a little.